Hi guys, Claire Staines here at Lothlorien Dog Services. Just following on from my recent video on biting, mouthing and chewing from puppies. Someone had asked me a question on there about puppies sort of like stealing things, pinching things, and I think it was specifically about clothes. Pinching clothes. Now we've all been there with our little puppies, stealing our cheesy socks, running about the house at 50 miles an hour while we are trying to catch them like something out of a Tom and Jerry cartoon. So how do we prevent that? Well, first things is we've got to understand the mechanics. So let's just say your puppy's just got something in its mouth and it's worth £10 and we want that £10 off them. Okay, we can grab the £10, but chances are next time they get the £10, they're going to hold on to it even tighter and probably increase the value of the £10 up to £20 because the puppy will just be like, I'm never letting this go, which would take us right back to the stuff about resource guarding. So the puppy's got something worth £10 and we want it off them. Now, if we go and try and trade and we give them £5, they're going to ignore that £5 and hold on to that. However, if we get something of greater value and we say, if you give us that, we'll give you this, £20. It's an English one as well, sorry. We'll give you this, you give us that, then it's a win-win situation. Now, we do this in training, so you don't wait until there's an emergency. So you spend a bit of time training your puppy that here's a tenner, I'll give you 20 quid, thanks very much. Here's a tenner, I'll give you 20 quid, thanks very much, and so on and so forth. We do it loads and loads and loads in training. Then we build up a good bank balance of appropriate behaviour so that when they do have something and we say to them, can I have that? They are far more likely to give it up because it becomes a conditioned response. Because, you know, it's good to give things up because you get something better afterwards. It's much like when you go on a flight. I've been on tons of flights and I've never crashed. But every time I go on a flight, we are given the procedures that you would go through if there was an emergency. And that prepares us in the unlikely event of an emergency. If we didn't get any of that information and there was an emergency, then it would be far worse because we wouldn't have no reckoning or understanding about what we're supposed to do, where we're supposed to go, follow the lights at the middle, which exit you're supposed to go out, etc, etc. Now, I've taught my dogs, if you've got a tenner, I'll give you 20 quid. If you've got a tenner, I'll give you 20 quid. And I think I've only ever in their whole lives had to ask them to give me something up in an emergency, maybe 2 or 3 times in a dire emergency. The rest of the time we're just playing with toys and stuff. So we are following the system of, you know, if you give me that, I'll give you that. And that has prepared them for those times that we have needed to get them to surrender an item, you know, voluntarily. Now, you do all of that training, but when they're puppies, if there's something that you don't want them to have, and I said this in the tune thing as well, is you really need to make sure that it's out of reach for them. If they're continuously taking socks, then you need to make sure that you're picking up after yourself or your washing basket is somewhere where your puppy's not going to get to. If they're continuously picking up, you know, an item or an object, it then could be that they're picking this up because they know they're going to get your full attention. So the best thing to do would be management protocol along with training, give it up by removing the item out of harm's way. So that's what we do with getting items off puppies that they're not supposed to have. Now, I'm going to do a video tutorial on how to teach a dog to give when we're doing an actual training, but I just thought I would go through the mechanics of it. Now, I hope that is helpful to the lady who asked for that. Any comments or suggestions, pop them down in the box as before. But apart from that, lovely sunny day in Scotland. Have a great weekend and happy training.